Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Spektr.
Ever feel like stepping into a finance meeting is like entering a different universe?
Yeah, especially when compliance comes up, right?
It's like suddenly everyone's speaking a language only they understand.
A secret code
Right. But that's why we're here today.
to break that code down.
Exactly. For this deep dive, we're looking at Spektr.
Spektr, yeah, they're trying to change the game when it comes to financial regulations.
And they've definitely grabbed our attention.
Yeah, their whole approach is intriguing.
They seem to be tackling that thing everyone dreads.
Oh, you mean staying compliant?
Exactly. It's a huge pain point,
Huge, and Spektr seems to get that.
making it, dare I say, almost enjoyable.
Well, at least less of a headache.
That's the dream. And their platform seems like a one-stop shop for all things compliance.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they handle everything.
We're talking client onboarding with all those forms and checks, KYC/ML.
Right, those are essential.
Absolutely. Making sure everything is by the book, but they don't stop there.
Nope, continuous monitoring, case management. All in one system.
Imagine no more juggling multiple platforms or spreadsheets bursting with data.
Or missing those crucial deadlines.
It's about streamlining and making your life easier.
Because in the financial world, time is money, right?
100%. And the less time you spend wrestling with compliance, the more you have for your actual business.
Couldn't agree more.
And here's where Spektr gets really interesting.
You mean the no-code anti-API approach?
Exactly. I mean, that's genius.
It is pretty clever.
It means flexibility for everyone, whether you're a tech whiz or prefer a more visual approach.
So you're saying they cater to both ends of the spectrum?
Precisely. Imagine setting up automated KYC checks for new clients with just a few clicks.
That's the power of no-code, for sure, but for the more tech-savvy users.
They've got the API ready to go.
Deeper integration if you need it.
It's a brilliant move, really, because they're not alienating anyone.
Exactly. Startups, larger corporations,
Yes, I'm now.
they're making compliance automation accessible to everyone regardless of their tech skills.
Now they keep using this term, hyper-configurable.
Sounds a bit like jargon at first, right?
It does, but bear with us because it's actually pretty cool.
It basically means you can tailor the system to your specific needs.
Exactly. Need different workflows for different types of clients.
No problem.
Have unique risk triggers because of your industry.
They've got you covered.
Want to stick with your preferred compliance data providers?
Yeah, right ahead.
It's all about control.
In a world where compliance can feel so rigid,
They hand you the reins.
that level of control is great for adapting to changes in regulations.
Or even your own internal processes.
Agility is key.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or should I say the AI in the room?
You mean Spektr AI,
That's the one.
launched just this year, right?
Yep. Their answer to automating all those tedious tasks that eat up your time.
And I'm sure they've emphasized that you still have full control.
Oh, absolutely. But the AI does the heavy lifting.
This is where things get interesting because AI in compliance.
It's still a pretty new concept.
Exactly. So the question is, how well has Spektr balanced automation with human oversight?
They actually address this head on.
Oh, do tell.
Take due diligence, for example.
Okay.
Imagine the AI going through tons of data for you, analyzing it all,
And
then presenting its findings. But here's the key.
what's that?
It gives you clear explanations for its decisions.
So you're not just blindly trusting the AI.
Exactly. You understand the why behind its analysis.
And ultimately, you still have the final say.
Always.
That's a crucial distinction.
It is. It's about the AI being a powerful tool.
One that you control.
Exactly. And speaking of tools.security,
Yes. Especially in the financial world.
non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
And Spektr knows this. They're proudly displaying their ISO 27701.2022 certification.
Which means their security practices are top-notch.
Gold star for them, and of course, they're GDPR compliant.
Essential for data protection these days.
Especially if you have clients in Europe.
A must-have for sure.
It all boils down to trust.
Couldn't agree more. And it's that trust that's key. when you look at who Spektr is targeting.
Right.
They're not limiting themselves to a niche market here.
Not at all.
They're going after a broad spectrum of financial players.
It's pretty ambitious.
Crypto companies, for example.
Oh, yeah, with all the regulatory changes happening there.
Exactly. Then you've got your traditional financial institutions.
Trying to keep up with the times.
And let's not forget investment platforms needing to onboard clients quickly and securely.
It's a lot to juggle.
Even payment providers need to ensure every transaction is compliant.
It's like they're saying, if you deal with money and regulations, we're here for you.
Pretty much.
It's a bold statement.
It is, and it really highlights this shift we're seeing.
How so?
It's not just about ticking boxes anymore.
Right, it's about staying ahead of the game.
In a world where regulations are constantly evolving.
It feels like a new one pops up every day.
And that's where Spektr comes in.
By offering a way to adapt quickly.
Exactly. It's about agility.
Instead of playing catch-up, you're one step ahead.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is how Spektr is positioning themselves.
How do you mean?
It's not just about providing a compliance solution.
It's more than that.
They want to be partners helping businesses navigate this complex landscape.
So it's a more collaborative approach.
Absolutely. Imagine effortlessly proving your GDPR compliance as you expand into new markets.
That's a powerful selling point for sure.
It is. That's the kind of agility they're aiming for.
And it all comes down to technology, right?
Well, technology is a big part of it.
But they're combining that with a deep understanding of compliance.
Oh, yeah. They definitely know their stuff, and they're committed to making life easier for their clients.
That seems to be the common thread.
And let's not forget the AI aspect.
Spektr AI.
That's the one. I think this is just the beginning.
You mean as AI technology evolves?
Exactly. Imagine the possibility.
Your automation.
Definitely. Smarter risk assessments? You bet.
Predictive analytics even.
Now you're getting it. Imagine anticipating regulatory changes before they even happen.
Okay, that sounds a bit like something out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, right?
But I see what you're saying. Moving from reactive to proactive.
Precisely. Instead of scrambling to catch up, you're already prepared.
And that brings us to a crucial question for everyone listening.
Lay it on me.
How much trust are you willing to put in AI?
The million-dollar question.
Especially when it comes to something as critical as compliance.
It's a question more and more businesses are grappling with.
Because it's a big deal.
It is. And Spektr is right there on the front lines of this debate.
It's a bit like that feeling you get when you first try out a self-driving car.
I can see that.
You're a little uneasy.
A bit nervous.
But also intrigued by the possibilities.
Definitely.
You know, you still have some control.
But you're also putting your faith in the technology.
Letting it do its thing. It's definitely a brave new world. And, you know, with all this talk of AI and automation,
Yeah.
I keep coming back to what you said earlier about human intelligence.
Right. It's not just about the machines taking over.
Exactly. So how do we balance this reliance on AI with good old-fashioned human judgment?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
And there's no easy answer.
It's a tough one.
It's about understanding AI's limitations,
Recognizing it's a tool.
Exactly. Not a magic solution.
You wouldn't hand over your entire business strategy to an algorithm.
And you definitely shouldn't blindly trust AI with every single aspect of compliance.
Right. It's about finding that middle ground.
Finding that sweet spot.
Using AI for the tedious tasks.
The repetitive stuff.
Exactly. But keeping humans in the loop for the big decisions.
The ones where ethics and judgment really matter.
Couldn't agree more. And this is where Spektr's focus on transparency is so important.
Oh, absolutely.
If their AI is making decisions,
Like it will be.
we need to understand why.
You need that transparency.
Remember that due diligence example?
Yeah.
Imagine being able to see the AI's reasoning.
Interesting.
The data points it considered, the risks it flagged.
That's huge for building trust.
Right. Both in the technology itself and the companies using it.
It's almost like having a conversation with the AI.
Getting a peek inside its brain.
Exactly. And with that, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the ins and outs of Spektr's platform.
To the bigger picture of AI and compliance.
So as we wrap up, what are your final thoughts? What does it all mean for our listeners out there?
You know, I think we're at a turning point.
A shift in how businesses approach compliance.
Exactly. Imagine a world where staying compliant isn't this burden.
Instead of a headache, it's an advantage.
Precisely. Imagine having the tools to navigate this complex world with confidence.
Knowing you can adapt to whatever comes next.
That's the exciting part.
That's what Spektr's are promising.
And it's a future worth striving for.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Absolutely.
leveraging technology to free up your time and resources.
So you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business and achieving your goals.
Exactly.
And as we navigate this new world of AI-powered compliance, what's something our listeners should keep in mind?
I'd say don't just aim to simplify compliance.
Make it better.
Yeah, make it more ethical, more transparent, and ultimately more human.
That's a great point to end on. It's not just about following the rules.
It's about doing the right thing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a fascinating conversation.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, until next time, keep asking those tough questions and keep exploring the amazing potential of this world we're building together.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.